They said this was refurbished. I don't think it is.
Brand new.
I just had to open the box for a start.
Yeah, no, it'd be refurb, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, but they don't just thingy it. Oh, hello, YouTube.
Yeah, we're live.
Hi,
It takes a while for it to build
hello.
up,
I
so-
know, but I just didn't
Hello,
realise-
YouTube.
Didn't realise I was sitting there with my handsome face on your YouTube. Yeah, I can't imagine they'd be able to do a reconditioned one with any scratches or anything, mate. That's the whole point of them getting them back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come join us right now, guys, over on YouTube. We are live. I think you can see us in that video over there. We are live.
What is hilarious is I go,
Ah!
my old phone to the DPD drive, and they're like, yeah, any cracks, anything, we can't take it back or anything. He literally put it in a plastic bag and then launched it into the back of his van. I literally launched it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's
keep an eye
about-
on YouTube temporarily, dude.
Yes.
2 people.
Yes.
And that's me and Ben.
Yeah, we're waiting for someone else to come on it, I think.
That one special person.
They're definitely very special to me. I have a big place in my heart for them, and that is Santa Claus.
Right, so that's up, so that should go.
I gave it you. You didn't take it from me.
Well, you didn't say
That's
I
a
could
you
have it.
problem.
You didn't say I could have it.
Well, I did when I bought it. I said I got a screen protector for you here.
You did. You did.
Oh, you give your bosses everything, and they still want more, huh? What do they want from me? My blood, my sweat, tears?
That's really good. How do I do it?
Oh, did you not? Yeah, clearly. Where's the thing? Yeah, right. Take your phone out. This is what happens when you don't read instructions. You just go straight in.
I didn't want to touch my screen. Morning, guys. We won't be a minute. We are just faffing at the moment.
Faffing around.
We like a good faff.
Oh, that's awkward.
So,
There's something that keeps it in place, but it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does here. Right. You see? That goes on there. You have got cloths and rags to stop all the stuff there.
bits of dust.
Yeah. I've been having dreams. Right. And then what you do once you've done that is you place the phone face down. Sorry, Evan's just got a new phone, so I've got to put a screen protector. Well, I ain't doing it. He's doing it. But how is everyone today? What's your opinion on? I can't Samoyed dog. Yeah, what's that, Adam?
Oh,
And then I can have an opinion.
it's a white fluffy dog.
I think they're really nice and white and fluffy.
I like white.
Big white fluffy dog.
I'll actually get someone who knows what they're talking about.
They're very similar in personality to that of a husky, built for cold climates. What's my opinion on the Samoyed? I think they're fun. Very vocal and very fucking hyperactive they can be. I worked with a lady that had 3 of them. It was a fucking nightmare. They're just so bloody vocal. But really friendly dogs, really bubbly personality, quite independent though. Recall training can be very difficult with a Sammy. Trying to keep them to be quiet can be quite difficult because they are quite a vocal breed. How do you prevent a Great Dane jumping on your back behind unexpectedly? Never been allowed to jump up at the front at 10 months old. So generally when a dog's jumping up at your back from behind, it would be because you've turned your back on the dog, or because the dog is freaking out a little bit, or the dog's too overstimulated. It would be one of those 3 things that generally cause it. If I know the dog's like this jump on my back, anytime that dog's behind me, I always turn and face that dog. So if it does jump up, I can walk straight into it. I know it's a Great Dane. I know they can stand up to 6'5" on their hind legs. Some of them, they're massive. But walk straight into it. Also, pay attention to when it's happening. Is it during play? Is it when the dog's getting too over aroused? If that is the case, then you want to make sure your dog's on the lead when you're playing with the dog. And then just before the levels start to get too much, you just want to give the dog something calming to do. Sit, stand down. So just shorten up the lead and keep the dog by your side. If it's happening when the dog's getting anxious and nervous, again, what's going on at this time? Create a bit of space. Help your dog. Dogs that also jump on the owners, it does show a distinct lack of respect for them. I don't think people quite appreciate just how disrespectful jumping up can be. A dog shouldn't really be jumping up at its owner unless you actually invite it to jump up on its owner. If they do, it tells you they're far too comfortable, climbing all over you, leaning into you, pawing you, nudging you, following you around the house, invading your personal space. So start teaching your dog if it comes into your personal space, it's when you invite it into your personal space. Now, the people at home listening to this that don't have this issue, this might not apply to you. Remember, when I'm answering a question, I'm answering it to the person that's asked me the question. And because I say that she should be not letting that dog come in her personal space without invitation, doesn't mean that everybody should be doing that unless you have issues. I just want to commend you for doing Ask Me Anything live sessions. Thank you for all the nice content. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've changed my schedule now. So I do 3 weeks of working with dogs and then have a week off. So I can do more stuff in the office, which is where I am now. And I noticed that one of the things that I've always prided myself on, and that South and Dog Training has always been held in high regards for, is the sheer volume of free content we put out there, including the Ask Me Anythings on Instagram and the free lives that we do. But where I was working with dogs so much, this was kind of being neglected, and that was beginning to stress me out. So I had to find a nice balance. So 3 weeks, I train dogs in person, and then I have a week dedicated to doing lives and Ask Me Anythings and things like that. Also allows me to have some half days to freaking go home early, spend some time with the family and stuff like that, so my head doesn't explode. So thank you. What enrichment activities would you recommend for Labradors? I think he's a working lab. I already do scatter feeding, retrieving and finding stuff, treats in the tail. That's it. Any form of retrieving. The thing is, dogs, the reason dogs are so great is because they don't want for a lot. They're actually very simple animals. Yeah. You just got to find what they enjoy. For example, with my late Staffy, with Mila, my current little rescue, and with any dog I've had, all I've ever really done with them is take them somewhere new, let them sniff and explore, go on little adventures with them, do some training with them, and I do that on any walk, whether it's an exploration walk or whether I'm playing fetch or tug-of-war or flirt pole. But really, the toys that I used with my dog was literally just something I could play tug-of-war with. You don't need loads of stuff. Your dog's not going to get bored really doing the same thing if the dog loves it, particularly if you make it exciting and always leave the dog wanting more. If you're doing retrieving, doing finding exercises, scatter feeding, as long as the exercise requirements are high for your dog, i.e. if it is a working line Labrador, you're looking at 2 hours exercise outside the house every single day, followed by some decompression. So crating after walk will help the dog calm down, because a lot of people think that their dog needs more, when in reality it needs to learn to switch off. And some breeds like Labradors, Cocker Spaniels, Border Collies, they can struggle to switch off. And that's where the crate comes in after exercise. Have a 6-month-old Sprocker puppy who pulls on the lead. We've tried to slip lead, but after a couple of times, she just lies down, pretends to cough, ready for us to take it off and resume the harness. Well, if your dog coughs and you take it off, then your dog will cough to get you to take it off. It's the same reason that that dog behind us, licking itself, Leo, started peeing in his crate, because when he peed in the crate, Evan opened the door to clean the crate. So every time Leo went in the crate, even if he didn't need a toilet, he'd pee in the crate until we broke that pattern of behavior. If your dog does something and it gets them the desired outcome, they will exhibit that behavior. You have to work through it. When your dog lies down, that's just, again, if you're using the slip lead properly, that's a very easy fix. Because if you teach your dog the concept of pressure and release, then when the dog lies down, pressure, dog moves, relax that pressure. Stand with your back towards the dog, straight line pressure in the direction you want the dog to go. It's nice and simple. Look, we've got twice a week on here, we post videos that are over an hour long. They are from live training sessions that we did in person with people with reactive dogs. We've recently posted one with 2 Cocker Spaniels that pulled on the lead, are attacking each other and reactive to dogs. We posted one of a Visualer on Friday that's reactive, nervous, anxious, and has pulled its owner all over the place. We posted videos of German Shepherds that have pulled its owners over. we got possessive little cockapoos, possessive little cavapoos. The thing is, these videos are over an hour long, and in every single one of these videos, we demonstrate how to work through problems and how to teach that dog to walk properly on a lead. Every single dog that comes here gets taught how to walk properly on a lead. Go watch them. How do I stop my Jack Russell Terrier going mental at the TV? Such a Jackie trait when animals or dark figures are shown. Bearing in mind, he knows adverts by the music, especially the flash ad. Break the pattern of behavior, Pauline. And this can go to anyone listening, okay? So if your dog is exhibiting a behavior that is driving you mental, yeah, whether it's barking at the TV, whether it's barking at people walking past the house, whether it's barking in the garden, whether it's barking when people come in the house, whether it's jumping all over your guests, whether it's stealing things, whatever that behavior may be, just stop for a second and ask yourself, what have I done to show my dog what it should be doing instead? What would I like my dog to do instead? How have I worked through this? Now, if I had a dog barking at the TV, here's what I would do. That couch behind me, I'd sit on it. I would take the dog's dinner or the dog's breakfast, depending on time of day, and I'd stick that in a treat pouch instead of a bowl. I would have my dog on a lead inside the house, and I would put animal programs on the TV or whatever it is my dog barks at the TV. I would wait for that I would have the dog in a down by my feet. I would be stepping on their lead, not so much that the dog can't move. I don't want to be forcing it to the floor, just enough that as soon as the dog goes running towards the TV, it's going to hit the end of its lead very quickly and go, what the hell just happened? At that moment, I'm going to give my dog a very firm, enough, down. Put the dog back into a down. Now, next time an animal comes on the TV, we've just left a lasting imprint. Dog's going to look at the TV, look at me. Good boy. Drop some of its breakfast down, drop some of its dinner down, and repeat. Do this every day, 5-10 minutes at a time. And very quickly, dogs barking at the TV will be a thing of the past. The other thing is, when you sit down to watch TV, yeah, and you want your dog to calm down and decompress, make sure your dog's had exercise, and then sit down, put the dog on a mat, put the dog in its bed, put the dog on a spot on the sofa, and give it something to chew on to help it calm down and decompress. Bit of mental enrichment, let it calm down. Remember, guys, if your dog's misbehaving, no matter how big or small that behavior is, your dog should be on a lead inside the house. GD. Working in the kitchen. Making a drink comes up. Oh, Great Dane. Great Dane working in the kitchen, making a drink, comes up behind me. In the garden, comes up behind me, rears up on my back. Yeah. So if you know it's coming, face the dog, walk into the dog. Very authoritative. Yeah. Imagine when you walk towards your dog. We're going to use what we call spatial pressure, right? But imagine when you do it, you want that thing to move. If you don't believe that dog's going to move or that person's going to move, you're just kind of walking at someone, yeah? You need to do it with a bit of authority, stamp your foot if you have to, yeah, and send your dog away. Teaching a dog an away command, so simple. Treat, away, throw the treat, dog goes away from you, rinse and repeat. Also, make sure the dog's on a lead so you can pop and give the dog a correction as and when necessary. Guys, quick test for you. Should my dog be on a lead inside the house? All you have to do is just ask yourself, does your dog do something in the house that you can't stop? Doesn't matter how big or small that behavior is. If you can't stop it jumping over the sofa, if it doesn't get off the sofa when you say off, if your dog doesn't come in from the garden first time every single time of asking you, if you have to repeat yourself to get the dog to listen to you, yeah, if your dog picks up something that it shouldn't, if your dog jumps all over the guest, jumps all over you, basically any behavior that your dog exhibits that you can't stop is a problem behavior, no matter how big or small. And if you can't stop it, your dog should be on a lead. My 18-month-old Rottweiler goes to his back and lets people scratch his belly. Then he makes a weird snarl sound and goes to bite a nip. But the nip isn't powerful. Is this due to excitement? Right. So the reality is, right, people, you have to pay attention to your dog's body language, okay? And we speak about it in this book. How to raise the perfect family dog. There's a whole chapter on body language because we talk about this. Now, a lot of people think because a dog comes over to them, it wants affection. Yeah. Generally, it's coming over to investigate. A lot of people think a dog going straight on its back like that automatically wants a belly rub. Now, a dog getting a stroke that goes onto its back could be looking for a belly rub. It could also be a dog being overly submissive because it's nervous and tense. Yeah, so you have to look at the whole body language. If your dog's on its back and the tail is tucked, yeah, where it should be straight, chances are your dog's not looking for a belly scratch. It's just being overly submissive. The other thing is when people start to stroke a dog, the dog might be okay with it until they move to a certain area or until their excitement picks up and they start going over the top and crowding the dog and getting too handsy. Yeah. Some people stay there too long. When you stroke a dog that you don't know for the first time, you want to look at it as a bit like shaking hands. When you shake somebody's hand, yeah, I'll use Ben as an example. Ben, come to me, darling. This is a handshake. How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, that's it. That should be how you interact with a dog. Not shaking their hand, but it should be very calm and short and sweet. If I do this,
Hi.
how you doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah. Right. Fuck off. It gets too much. You see? Yeah. Because you stay there too long and it gets too personal. Also, check certain areas of your dog. You might be fine with you doing it, but other people, there could be an underlying problem. For example, if a dog gets a bit funny when someone touches his back end, could point to hips, knees, anus issues. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'm actually going to film that because that's quite good. See if we can steal that clip somehow, some way. Oh, I made it blurry. I cannot convince my wife that getting rid of our dog's harness to get a slip lead. We have a small 2-year-old Cavapoo and she thinks it will choke him. Can we still have success despite the body harness? You'll struggle. You can get success, but you probably won't. If you're questioning using a slip lead already, yeah, you're probably going to really struggle with a harness. Also, tell your wife to remove her fucking emotions. In the nicest sense of the word, ask, oh, we're going to hurt the dog. He's just my baby. Is why your dog's so fucking messed up in the first place. I don't mean that to be rude or insensitive, but honestly, go and watch our videos. We had a Cavapoo recently that turned up on a harness, was reacting to everything that moves, put it on a slip lead. The dog freaks out. Owners freaked out a little bit. I tell the owners to stop pandering to their dog. Dog relaxes. Dog's fine. Dog's not reacting anymore. Dog wasn't in pain. Dog was just a spoiled little fuck. He'll be absolutely fine if you use a slip lead properly. Harnesses are invented for dogs to track and pull. Remember that. Yeah, and your little dog is not as fragile as people think. And the more you sort of wrap it up in cotton wool, the more it will develop behavioural problems such as possessive behaviour, separation anxiety, and excessive barking. Any tips on stopping barking at other dogs with a 2.5-year-old Labrador when inside but fine outside? Yeah. So again, look at what your dog's doing. Okay. So dogs that are generally barking at every single noise are generally dogs that do struggle to relax. Now, if your dog's getting enough exercise, then your dog should start to switch off and relax. If your dog's constantly up, down, up, down, up, down, yeah, it is going to go a bit stir crazy. If you've got excessive barking problems in the house, if you've got issues in the house, ask yourself, is my dog sleeping for around 16 hours a day? If your dog isn't, that is part of the problem. Dogs are meant to sleep for the majority of the day. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If they smell a bit of food, they might perk up and come and see it. But if you're meeting the needs of the dog and they're not getting attention, they should be going to switch off. They shouldn't be up and down like a yo-yo. Start creating your dog after exercise for a minimum of 2 hours and you'll see a huge difference in your dog. What the fuck?
Starting to also play videos.
How do you get a dog to learn down? Ours doesn't seem to get it or go downwards with a food law. Use a lead as well at the same time. So you don't drag your dog to the floor, but basically in a nutshell, you use that food law. As they start to come down, you apply very gentle pressure on the lead. That can help. Or you can apply a gentle pressure to their back. That can help. On the South and Dog Training app, we have tutorials, multiple different ways of teaching down. You can also, depending on the size of your dog, build a little tunnel under your legs. So you get the dog to kind of come through your legs for the treat. And because it has to crawl through your legs, it naturally goes into a down. The other thing you can do, and there's a video on this as well, is what we call capture and reward. At some point, your dog has to lay down. If you have a clicker, the second your dog lays down, or you have a marker word, the second your dog lays down, mark that behavior. Very soon, your dog will start offering it. I did a home visit of a Border Terrier that wouldn't down, but where I've been playing with this dog and training with it, it was tired. So I said to the lady, when your dog lays down, I'm just going to say yes and reward your dog. Guess what? Within a few minutes, that dog was actively laying down. Yeah. So there are more than one ways to skin a cat. How to stop a cavapoo destroying cushions? She's obsessed with it. Stop letting the dog on the fucking sofa. Your dog has no respect for the sofa, doesn't understand the rules of the sofa, therefore doesn't have sofa privileges. Sofa privileges are for trained dogs, not for dogs that destroy things, not for dogs that climb all over you, not for dogs that guard you, not for dogs that basically think it's a freaking bouncy castle. Yeah. So, dog on a lead inside the house because your dog's not trained. Yeah. A week, no sofa. Yes, it'll be hard, but you have to remove your emotions for the bigger picture. These aren't forever things. This is a means to an end. The reason so many people struggle with their dogs is because you simply cannot put your needs to one side to do what is best for the dog. You need constant validation from your dog, and therefore we end up with needy, possessive, snowflake dogs. So, no sofa for a week. Dog gets on the sofa, off. Dog gets on 5 times, off 5 times. Dog gets on 10 times, off 10 times. Teach your dog a place command, a bed command. Make sure your dog's getting enough exercise. After a week, you can reintroduce the sofa to your dog. Dog comes on the sofa. Yeah. When the dog is where you want it to be, next to you, laying down, then the affection bit starts. Dog misbehaves, dog gets straight off the sofa. Rinse and repeat. And if it's doing it when you're not in, your dog should be in a crate. Trust me, it's not good your dog swallowing all that fluff. Where are we? Trying to listen to this live with kids at home. It's half term. Please could I ask for fewer swear words? Also trying to show them some of the hints and tricks, and language isn't kid friendly. Asia, this book is kid friendly. Buy this book. Your kids can read it if they're of reading age. If they're at school, they're probably hearing worse than what I say anyway. But this book, right, has no swearing in it. It is written for you. So you have a source that you can refer to, that your kids can refer to, that has no swearing in it. I am trying hard not to stop swearing, but it is just who I am. What I will say, though, is kids will hear a lot of swear words as they get older, particularly when they get to school, particularly when they start thinking swearing is cool. Everybody goes through that phase at some point in their life. We can't shield them from the world. Kids, do as I say, not as I do. That's the rule I teach my kids. My kids live with me, and they are excelling at school. They excel at sports. I will try to stop swearing as much. Love these live sessions. So many good advice. I've just bought your books too. Thank you. So yeah, the reality, kids are at the reading stages. Yeah. So this book is written for adults, but it is also, if your child is of reading age and things like that, then your children can read this book. I wanted a book that was geared towards families with children, so they could learn fun things to do with the dogs as they grow up, and what you need to teach the dog and the child so they can be safe together and everything. And I thought, because it is really geared towards families, I thought I'd do a book without swearing. Do you know how hard that was for me? Yeah. And when I was doing the audio book recording, that was the difficult thing, because I'm like, oh, I used a word like gosh darn it. Tally-o. Yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things. Where are we? Do you have any recommendation how to get a dog that lashes at the rope to go for a ball when playing or training? What lashes at the rope?
Lashing out.
Try different. I don't understand.
Tries to bite the rope, I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Bigger rope. Better toy delivery. Yeah. I'm assuming you've got tried different toys. If you've got a dog whose aim is not that accurate or starts to work its way up the rope, I would make sure I had a much bigger rope or a bigger toy on the end of that rope that the dog can get hold of on the end of a rope and get in that. And then start with, you can get, I call them almost mini flirt poles. They're not, but they're like tug enough toys. Long bit of a rope with looks like a duster on the end of it. They're pretty good. It's very difficult for the dog to catch your hand and then just slowly shorten it up. My 7-month-old puppy stops and watches other dogs in a sit position on walks. How can I keep her walking nicely without stopping every single time? Occam's razor. Occam's razor, simplest solution is normally the right one. Here's what you want to do. When you see a dog and you know your dog's going to stop, we have a tendency of slowing down because our dog's slowing down, and then we come to a stop. Now we've just reinforced the dog's behavior. The dog just went, slow down, Linda. Stop. Thank you. If the dog could give you a biscuit, it would at that moment in time. What you want to do is know this is going to happen. Pick up your pace. So when you see a dog, head up, shoulders up, short but relaxed lead, and you walk down that street as if anything's standing in front of you, you're going to walk straight through or straight over. Sometimes the simplest solution really is the right one. I did a video on this a little while ago. Somebody in my training class, English Bull Terrier, the dog decided they didn't want to move. Come on, come on. I said, are you asking the dog or telling the dog? I said, stand by your dog's side and say, come on, let's go. And guess what the dog did? It followed. Sometimes the dog gets us to do what it wants, and we're not even aware of it. What's your opinion on sterilization if it doesn't have any health problems whatsoever? Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah. So if the dog has no health problems, the dog has no behavioural problems. If it's not broke, don't fix it. However, if you're referring to what we call a testosterone blocker, yeah. So it's an injection that mimics the effects of your dog being neutered without removing the testicles. Then some dogs, yes, hugely beneficial. Other dogs, it's not going to make an ounce of difference. Now, the beauty of chemical castration, in a sense, is it's kind of try before you buy. If the dog calms down as a result of the chemical castration, you know that if you was to neuter your dog, it's going to be for the better. If it makes no difference to your dog's behavior or the dog's behavior gets worse, the chemical castration wears off. So it's no harm, no foul. You know that neutering your dog would be a complete waste of time. There have been a few dogs recently that I have recommended chemical castration for. And there's been a few dogs recently that have got their testicles, and we didn't even talk about having to have that dog neutered in any way, shape or form. Our dog is rehomed. Awesome. Has been 3 houses in 9 months. I feel your pain. Bless him. He's already improved massively thanks to your advice in new places, but it still pulls like mad. He's now 14 months, but containing his emotions in new places is very hard. He's great in places he knows. Any tips? Right. Excuse me. So, love the fact that you took a rescue dog on. Yeah, cannot stress that strongly enough. So many good dogs in rescue. Myla, the dog who is on the front cover of this child-friendly book. Where is she? There we go. Camera's in reverse. That one right there. She's been on multiple different homes when I got her. She's now doing awesome. Now, new places. We want to build up, okay? So once a week, twice a week. Yeah, we don't want to oversell it. Once or twice a week is more than enough. We want to go somewhere new. But what we want to do is go somewhere that's not so new and overwhelming. Somewhere like a new park. Somewhere like a quiet street. Somewhere like a new woods. Something like that. You want to give your dog the ability to sniff. Because the more the dog can sniff, the more it will relax. If we're focusing being too strict on the obedience, when our dog is overwhelmed, we can really, really struggle. So sometimes letting the dog do something that's easy, free, and natural, like sniffing, can really, really help the dog. Putting it on a longer lead and just letting the dog sniff. If the dog starts to see something, use the lead to keep moving the dog along. When the dog gets more comfortable, then start throwing in some obedience that your dog knows well. Something like a sit, something like a down, something like a spin, like something as simple as look at me and reward your dog. Start with very, very basic obedience and then start to ask for more challenging stuff, yeah? Just because your dog might do really well walking down your street or in places that it knows, until we've gone to many different places and proof that behavior, we may have to simplify the exercise. There's a thing in dog training we call the 3Ds, guys. That's basically distance, duration, and distraction. And it goes a little something like this. When we're adding something new, a distraction, we may have to simplify that exercise, yeah? So we may have to reduce the duration in which we normally do this exercise, yeah? We may have to reduce the distance in which we would normally do this exercise, like say around that distraction, yeah? If we're increasing the duration, we may have to simplify the distraction. So basically, when we're working on one of these 3 things, we may have to reduce or simplify the other bits of the 3 Ds. So just because you and your single dog, for example, can enjoy a walk stress-free, if you had 2 dogs, yeah, you might fall into the trap of trying to do that same thing that you do with them individually, but the addition of the other dog has become a distraction. So you may have to simplify the exercises. So sometimes doing little things that your dog can excel at, that it knows well, can put the dog and you in much better spirits, and then start to work on something more difficult. Dog and separation anxiety. My question is, once we've done our walk and I leave it in a room to decompress, is this bedtime? Is this a bad time to leave the house? No, it's perfect time to leave the house. Yeah, absolutely perfect time. So if you've got a dog with separation anxiety, the crate and exercise are your friend here. We need plenty of both. Yeah. Now, the crate, when I refer to the crate here, I refer to the crate door being shut every single time I mention crate here, okay? So what we're going to do is make sure the dog's getting enough exercise, guys, because without that, it doesn't matter. Exercise. Then we want to come home. We want to stick the dog in the crate for a minimum of 2 hours. If the dog is whining for 10, 15 minutes, that doesn't mean the dog's in the crate for an hour and 45 minutes. The dog needs at least 2 hours of full decompression, okay? So, goes in the crate, switches off. We also want to use the crate when we are eating. When we are eating and food is being prepared, the dog goes in the crate. Now, the crate door never, ever opens, guys, if the dog is whining, pawing, barking, nudging, getting excited. Calmness is what will open that door. So after you finished eating, if that's been 10 minutes, the dog can come out of the crate. 20 minutes, the dog can come out of the crate, as long as the dog is calm. Calmness opens the door. Exercise, crate after exercise, calmness, that opens the door. This will mean your dog is more likely to decompress, lay down and relax, because it knows that's what opens the door. But because we've done enough exercise, it's going to be more likely to fall asleep whilst it waits. This is also teaching the dog to spend a short period of time by itself. So when we do need to leave, take the dog for a nice long walk, come back, stick the dog in a crate. Any other time, this is now normal routine. Go to the shops, do what you got to do. Don't leave your dog, obviously, for the whole day in the beginning, but don't start this 5 minutes, come back, 6 minutes, come back. It's so unrealistic, guys. Yeah, it's so unrealistic. And it becomes too much of a stickler for time. And then if that breaks, you go back to square one. So if you've got to pop to the shops, pop to the shops. You've got to pop out for an hour, pop out for an hour. Out for 20 minutes, you're out for 20 minutes. Do not be a stickler for time. Yeah. How does clicker work in a day-to-day basis? People only show trading part. They never show when the day is trade, if that makes sense. Okay, clicker is very, very straightforward. I will go and grab one right now, and I will show you how it works.
Clicker!
I had one. There it is.
Was that the one you was looking for? It was right in front of you.
It's all the way over there. How's that right in front of me?
The other day you wanted.
Yeah, probably. Right, this is a clicker. A clicker is used to mark a behaviour that you have asked for or that the dog has done, and it's to let them know, well done, a reward is to follow. Now, most people think of training as sit down, come, heel. You ask the dog to do something, you reward the dog. That is what we call formal training. Informal training or lifestyle training is where a lot of people screw up. It doesn't matter how many 5-10 minute sessions you do teaching your dog to sit down, stay. If the other freaking 23, 22 hours of the day, the dog is being, sorry, children, what's the word? A nightmare.
Nightmare.
That's fine.
A pain in the bottom.
A pain in the derriere. So, a clicker. Nice and simple. You charge it. Not electronically, but with food. You click, food, click, food, click, food. Best way of doing this, dog's dinner, dog's breakfast, bit of breakfast, click, bit of breakfast, click, bit of breakfast, repeat in the evening, click, bit of dinner, click, bit of dinner. By the time you've done that, you've had hundreds of repetitions and the dog should know what this means. Then what you do, treat pouch on, click around your wrist like this. Anytime the dog does something you like or something you ask, reward your dog. It is that simple. Remember, the click is to indicate a food is coming, so you don't have to click and then run to your dog to give them a treat. Yeah, it's not click and shove it straight in their mouth. It's click, treat, click, treat. click, treat, click, treat. Yeah, because the click is the marker. You've done it, treat is coming. Yeah, so don't rush. Always get that treat in. Anytime the dog does something you like, if it comes and lays down next to you, you like it, click a reward. Dog goes to its bed without you asking, click a reward. Dog goes to its bed with you asking, click a reward. Somebody comes in your house, dog doesn't jump all over him, click a reward. It really is that simple. And in fact, something that you can all do, that will be an absolute game changer, 24-hour silence using nothing but a clicker. You watch how much more your dog pays attention to you. Very interesting point on new location. So it's better to let them have some long line sniffing in a new place first before falling into the trap and battling to. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Remember, when you're starting new exercises, this isn't necessarily the finished picture. So if my goal is to be able to walk my dog absolutely anywhere, I might have to. It's a bit of give and take. So if letting my dog have 5 minutes of sniffing around, yeah, in a new environment helps my dog relax and puts it into a better state of learning, I'd rather do that than try to hammer my dog into listening to me if it's overwhelmed in a new place. What size dingo collar would be best for a 2-year-old Cocker Spaniel? Probably a 40mm dingo collar. It's either a 40mm or a 45. That's the length, by the way. All dingo collars are 6mm, so they're the same thickness. But I would say for a Cocker Spaniel, you're looking at 40mm, at a push 45mm. Anything bigger than 45mm is going to be mass overkill. So yeah, but also, yeah, definitely. And how to use a dingo collar, check out the videos on YouTube. Right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really will help us to help more people. If you're not a member of the Southend Dog Training app, please consider downloading the Southend Dog Training app.
I just want to see how you do the advert quickly before you end it. Can I just try that?
Go on then.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to test something on YouTube. Sorry, you were being the test subjects. I suppose you saw where to do it, Ben, did you? Manage? No, we watched it, didn't we?
You're going to lose us if you keep.
Should we all just get involved?
Should we all get involved?
Yeah, we're all involved now.
Overlay for brakes. No. So, guys, yeah, we literally pop out dashboard. Ooh.
Oh, it said pops out that.
Yeah. Doesn't tell you, does it there? No, they said, oh, you just click here and say just going on a break. Share screen, mute, share, end stream.
Well, if you click on end stream,
it will end the stream.
Yeah, but it might not. It might.
Not yet.
Not yet. What about bottom right?
Keep it simple.
Engage with your audience.
Start
Q&A. Oh, that's cool. We can do that like we used to. Show your support for Southend Dog Training. Yay, show support.
What, for ourselves?
Yeah, we always support ourselves. No, all right, we'll have to.
Moderation activity, timestamps, no reactions, pop out chat, send a feedback.
No,
maybe it's an option you have to put in the settings.
Yeah, it must be. Channel level settings, pop out dashboard. No, there was an option for Adam to go on a break, so if he ever needed a wee, he could. But
now he can't go for a wee.
Now he can't. Now he's going to wee himself.
Yeah.
All right.
See you later.
Cheers, guys.